안녕하세요. 국민이주에서 미국 투자이민 수석 맡고 있는 이유리 미국 변호사입니다. 오늘은 국민이주에서 독점으로 소개시켜드리고 있는 맨하탄 11번가 호텔 프로젝트의 담당자님 모시고 프로젝트 관련 이야기를 들어보려고 하는데요. 맨하탄 11번가 호텔 프로젝트는 2019년에 저희 국민이주를 통해서 1차로 먼저 모집을 했고요. 2022년 5월 달에 미국 대사관에서 인터뷰 보시고 영주권을 받고 있는 성공적인 프로젝트입니다. 오늘 저희 국민이주가 독점적으로 소개시켜드리는 맨하탄 11번가 호텔 프로젝트 함께 자세한 내용 알아볼까요? 맨하탄 리저널센터 COO 알빈 웡 씨에게 본인 소개와 맨하탄 리저널센터에 대해 소개를 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
Hello everybody, my name is Alvin Wong. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Manhattan Regional Center. Manhattan Regional Center since 2011 has been offering our global investment opportunities that will help them achieve their U.S. immigration goals. We're so very proud to be working with Kumin Immigration to bring to you a very exclusive project in Manhattan, New York.
지난번 영상에서 왜 저희 국민이주가 11번가 메리어트 호텔 프로젝트를 선택했는지 간략하게 말씀드렸는데요. 이번 영상에서는 이 프로젝트가 다른 프로젝트와 다른 차별점에 대해서 조금 더 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 알빈?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to explain why our project is so unique in the EB5 market. There are 4 very good points why investors can place their trust in this exclusive project. So the first is the fact that it's located in Manhattan and it is a TEA project. The location of this project cannot be stressed enough. There are very few Manhattan-based TEA projects now. And so having one makes it very rare opportunity for investors. We're so happy that our developer was able to find a location like this and has been able to develop a project to the stage it has. Which leads me to point number 2, the construction status. As of today, our project is already topped out and interior construction has already begun. That means from an investor's point of view, there is much lower risk that the construction will not be completed. This is again another bonus and advantage for your investors.
Right.
We also have a construction completion guarantee provided by the developer. This again is reassurance for your investors that the project will be completed and that minimizes the risk of investors' investments. And finally, we as a Manhattan Regional Center, we have been very forward thinking in that our CEO, Ms. Winnie Ng, has always been an advocate of having something called a third-party fund administrator to overlook the protections for investors. Now, before RIA 2022 began, we had already implemented having a third-party fund administrator in our projects. Now that RIA 2022 requires it, we believe our experience with having a third-party fund administrator already as part of our project will be an especially big benefit for your investors.
최근 높은 환율과 금리 때문에 미국 투자이민을 고려하시는 분들 중에서 부동산, 특히나 이제 건설 이런 프로젝트에 대해서 우려를 표시하시는 분들이 많으세요. 그런데 이 프로젝트는 어떻게 이 위기 관리를 하고 있고 어떻게 극복했고 어떤 안정성을 갖고 있는지 알빈에게 물어보도록 하겠습니다. Alvin, please.
Well, thank you. I understand that from an investor's point of view, construction risk is a very big concern. I think our project is very well positioned because we have achieved the stage where we've topped out. So that means we've built all 52 floors of our project. It's already poured the concrete. And so now we're starting to do the outside glass installation as well as the interior construction. So that minimizes investors' construction risks from that point of view. Also, our developer and building team had the incredible foresight to start acquiring their building materials ahead of time. Now, they started acquiring this before the pandemic when there were supply chain constraints. The cost of building materials began to skyrocket. The cost of transporting all these materials began to increase. And so by doing this, by being able to acquire the building materials ahead of time, and it's a majority of the building materials already, and they've been able to keep the cost of construction to as low as possible.
Right.
And so in this way, even in this economic times where everything is increasing in price, they've managed to keep that cost stable. I think that's very important for investors to know. Not a lot of developers have been able to do this. And so we're very happy to have this benefit for our investors.
항상 많이 저희가 듣는 질문인데요. 투자이민 하시는 분들이 가장 좋아하는 질문이 원금상환 관련된 내용입니다. 이 맨하탄 11번가 호텔 프로젝트는 원금상환 전략이 어떻게 되는지 확인해 보도록 하겠습니다. Evan, please.
Okay, so first off, I want to emphasize our strong track record, which helps keep investors' risk low. We have completed 8 projects already. They're sold out. And of those, about 5 of them, we have started returning investor funds. The second part of it is, so because of our track record in repaying our investors, investors can feel safe that developer knows how to best refinance his projects so that investors feel safe they will get a return of their money at the end of the EB5 cycle. So with most projects, developers will refinance a project with, say, a local bank or financial institution upon the completion and stabilization of their project. Now, from my understanding, with most projects nowadays, they're aiming for an LTV ratio of 85% of the completed stabilized value. That's good because for them, they get more value out of this. But with our developer, he has planned it so that even at a lower LTV ratio, around 70, 75, he will still have enough money after the refinancing to pay off the senior loan and EB5 investors. Now that is very important to investors because the lower the LTV ratio, the easier it becomes to secure the refinancing loan. So that in and of itself is another protection layer for investors to know that when it comes time to refinance and when it comes time to repay investors, the developer will have the ability to do so.
국민이 독점적으로 선택한 11번가 메리어트 호텔 프로젝트에 대해서 좀 더 자세한 내용이 알고 싶으시면 국민이주로 전화 주시면 되십니다.
So I want to thank you, Yuri, for the opportunity to be here today for this interview. And I also want to assure your investors that you have our full support as you begin your EB5 investment journey with them.
오늘 영상 봐주셔서 감사합니다. 에빈, bye.
Bye.